Hey, it's Sarah from Real Social Dynamics, and I am back in LA. In this video, I really just want to get quite intimate, drinking until I blacked out every single time I drank. Think, how could you be so stupid? It was just like, whoa! Being open-minded about creating my new life. That's what led me onto RSD. The RSD Summit, they have these summits every year where all the instructors come together and there's just seminars, talks, boot camps all week. And Nick said, hey, do you want to come and speak? Really see what their teachings were doing to people and the change that was happening within them. I'll run through my childhood really quickly with you guys because it's in those teenage years that I really had this transformation start to happen, where I really had to realize that I couldn't keep living my life a certain way. So as a kid, I played a lot of sport. The youngest of three, so I was constantly trying to get in front. I was constantly competing with my siblings, competing with people around me, and I played a lot of sport. So all this fed was this competitive side. And it was great because I built a lot of strength and I became really strong and really independent, but it also meant that I pushed a lot of people away. I grew up in a small city called Adelaide, which is in the south of Australia. And there isn't a lot to do. And it's a huge problem in outback, rural Australia, is drugs, because it's almost like people are so bored that there's nothing else to do that you just kind of start doing it. So I guess, unfortunately, sort of gravitated. It's like a gateway kind of thing, you know? My friends would all smoke weed. We lived up in the hills, we'd smoke weed and sit there and be like, oh, what else can we try? We started taking pills, and then that progressed into I started hanging out with these other friends that were really cool, amazing people, but they were smoking meth. It's kind of sad to actually think about it now because I kind of tried to push it out of my brain. I didn't want to think about this, you know? I lost a lot of friends to that. When I was going through this, I didn't think of it in that light. I didn't think of it like it was bad. I knew, a part of me was like, hey, it's probably not good that I'm doing this, but it wasn't like, oh, this is really bad. But then after I got out of it and I started living a completely different life, I realized then, it's almost like when you're in that relationship with that toxic person, you realize how bad it was. So I really had to connect that message in my brain and go, wow, it's like, Sarah, if you keep going, you're just gonna end up dead. The reason why I started going down this dark hole is because I didn't really see the meaning of life. I didn't see the point. I honestly did not see the fucking point of why we are all on this earth and what we're supposed to be doing. And then I met a guy. And that changed everything. So when we first started, we were both motivated. We both sort of had the same drinking issue. And so we both actively made a decision to stop drinking. So that's probably one of the best things that ever happened within that relationship, among other things. And I started to stop drinking, and it was really, really good. My health got a lot better. We didn't fight in our relationship because before that, when we'd go out, we'd always fight. So it made us a lot stronger, and I noticeably saw the changes happening to me when I stopped doing that stuff. But what I didn't realize is it blocked me and blindsided me from the other aspects of this relationship which were really negative. And this leads to one of the most shocking, life-changing events of my life. And that happened at the beginning of this year. So it's really recent. One night I was like, I'm just gonna have a look on his computer. And he went to the bathroom and I just had a look at his recent files. And one of the first things to pop up was this video of our garage. And he was having sex with someone on the carpet in our garage, in our home that we'd been living in for a year. You try to make sense of it, but because when it happens so quick, you're like, whoa. And so I walked out the front and I was just on the front lawn and I was just looking at the neighborhood, and I knew in that moment my whole life changed. How could she still have hope in that kind of relationship? But I did. I still went to my therapist and I explained what happened. I was still trying to work through it. And then the following week, we were like still talking, and it was just a weird time. It was a really weird time in my life. It was definitely, I've never had a breakup that went like that before, because it's all about your perception. It is all about your perception about how you see someone. And so for me, it was a really interesting moment to learn about how to handle situations like that, how to speak to people that are going through that. That's when I booked my flights to America. That was the first step to me regaining my life back. You don't want to become cynical. That is another part of this whole experience, is you don't want to become cynical. But that situation is a huge blessing in disguise, because it gave me the opportunity to go traveling again by myself and totally experience life and people the way that I wanted to, the way that I needed to at that time. So it was like a clean slate. I was just spending my time checking out these networking events and meeting a bunch of people, just branching out, and actually created a group of people that host networking nights as well. So that's actually where I met Papa. So I met Nick at one of these events and we got talking, which was funny because I met Tyler before that as well, because I was wanting to meet with him about him possibly coming on board and doing something with the company that I'd built in Australia. So we just hung out, like there was, you know, as friends, and I would say, hey, if there's ever any networking nights that you guys have or that I could help out with, please let me know. And that's what led me onto RSD. That is the first initial thing. I guess what I left out is my ex that I was deconstructing my life with was the one that actually introduced me to RSD 2 years ago. So he would watch the videos and then I started to watch them, and I really loved the content. I thought it was really interesting that it was all about pickup, because I'd never even seen that world. It was totally new to me, but I loved the self-development side to it, because I could really see like what their teachings were doing to people and the change that was happening within them. So that was really inspiring, and that's another reason why I really wanted to meet Tyler and I wanted to talk to him and ask him questions, which was awesome. So I literally just like messaged him on Instagram and then caught up, and yeah, it was awesome. And that led to the summit, the RSD summit. They have these summits every year where all the instructors come together, and it's a full week in Vegas or whichever city it's in. And there's just seminars, talks, boot camps all week. And Nick said, hey, like, do you want to come and speak at the summit? And I was like, sure, why not? I just want to explain, like, the mindset that I'm in is just have an open mind. If it does resonate with you, do it. And I was like, yeah, I'd love to do that. And it was weird because on my goals, like that I'd written down, it's like, I want to speak at 10 events this year, I want to improve my public speaking skills. And I was like, awesome, that resonates with me. Just do it, Sarah. So I went over there and actually did a talk with Spenny, who's another girl in the company. And it was amazing. Like, I got to meet all of like a lot of the community. I got to meet the instructors, hang out with them. I went on boot camps, like, and at that time I didn't know what I was going to really be doing. I just wanted to be involved with a company that I cared about. And that's what led to my passion with that, because in those boot camps, I got to really see the people that were involved and the guys that were trying to improve themselves. And I had this like overwhelming passion and urge to want to be a part of that, because I've had really good and bad experiences with guys, but there's been guys that I've met and I have wanted to like so badly, but they just lacked this side of them that would keep a sexual attraction and would keep that polarity in a relationship. They didn't have it. And so therefore I just could not stay with them. And so for me, it was kind of like this passion that I wanted to teach people how to have that and how to live out of abundance and like love, instead of constricting themselves with fear and creating this like closed off mentality to life, because that's when you miss out on opportunities and you miss out on great relationships. So you don't get with the people that you want to get with, because there isn't that healthy like push and pull within the relationship. I've shared a lot about what I've been through, and that's really personal stuff. I just want you to know that it's really personal stuff, and you can do without what you will, but just know it is really personal and it's meant a lot in my life. And I know that you go through challenges just like I do. We all do. And your life might look a little bit different to my life, and my life would look different to your life. But try to see the similarities in it, because I think that is the biggest takeaway, is when you listen to someone's story and you see what they got from it and you see how they changed from it. The veil that we create in our own realities is a very important thing to be aware of, because a lot of us can be addicted to not feeling amazing. A lot of us are actually terrified to be happy. We don't want to feel that happy. It's actually a really overwhelming feeling to feel good every day. You're like, I need to do something to feel shit. Let me create some drama here. And you do it subconsciously. But it's like this part of cleansing and like getting stuff out so that you can actually prepare yourself to feel good every day. I've gotten to this point where I feel amazing every day. I have fulfillment every day. And me sharing this stuff with you is because I want you to start going. I want you to share your journeys and start that. It's everyone's turn. Everyone that's at a point in your life, it's your turn to start making that change. Everyone can feel this. You are no different to anyone else. It is really important that you start living with this idea that I have to work together with people and myself. And I have to figure out what lesson it is that I need to learn from this experience that I'm going through right now. So if you can take one thing from what I'm telling you today, change your perception of how you view the experiences you're going through today. Not your past, you can if you want, but I'm saying right now, think about what is going on with your life and how you're perceiving it right now. And try to look at it at a different way, because it will totally change the way that you feel, the way that you grow, the things that you decide to do, the people you decide to hang around. It will all change when you realize what you really want out of this life. Because that's what you need to write that down. You need to figure out exactly what you want. What do you really want to take and do and give to this world? That's all I did, and now I feel great. I feel amazing. I get to work with people that have the same vision and the same passion to want to help other people. Literally, like, everyone in this company dedicates their time and gives so much of themselves to help other people get out of this like low energy and to start thinking and feeling the way that we all do. So I hope you got something from that. It's a really intimate thing for me to share with you guys. I want to get to know more of you. The next videos that are coming out are going to be on like totally different topics, but see you guys soon. Thanks for tuning in, and don't forget to click and subscribe to my channel. I'm going to be getting as much content as I can in the next couple of months and then posting it up, so stay tuned.